Okay, Preasy versus Mouz. A best of three banger between these two teams to decide who will qualify to the RMRs and who will go through to the RMR Decider Qualifier that will be played out tomorrow. One last chance for the team that falls short here. A lot of storylines, a lot of legacy riding on this one, Vince. We'll delve into it as we kick the series off on Ancient.
Indeed, lots and lots of storylines to go through, but for the time being, Preasy starting off the T side pretty slowly. 4 players just emerging out of T-spawn now. They do have the linchpin of Roy already up on the catwalk side in the alcove. So TMB, along with the rest of the troops, going to be starting to move in. And quite a few of the Danes have high hopes for this team, not just because of dupree's storylines, but additionally because it is a pretty young squad apart from him. Especially the likes of Altex have a lot to show us. But in terms of this pistol round, so often we see fast, aggressive plays. That's not the case here.
No, slow and steady, but they might be playing into the trap of Mouz. It'll be a late B-site bombardment, but there's 2 sets of dualies, and they've already sprung into action. Torzi causes issues as he taps his way down onto 2. There is a response from Refresh, who starts to run the round back, and now it's looking manageable. All on the 1v1, but it won't matter as Brolin swings down on the bottom of the ramp, cleaves his way through dupreeh, and takes the pistol by the skin of their teeth. Vince, that was an intense one to kick us off, mate. Pace of the game looking crispy here.
Yeah, it is. And even though Preasy do concede it, you're seeing glimpses of what made Refresh such an interesting player in his previous rosters. I was touching on the youth of this team. Obviously, Roy's been around the block many times as well. I think he's around 30, similar to dupreeh. But the other 3 are the young guns, the young blood. And Preasy going in for that force buy straight afterwards with the Tech 9s and the lone AK. Not slowing down. Altex out there first. Jimpat in the donut position is spotted and fragged. A good flashbanger from Torshi, but it's all going the way of the T's now. 3 kills. And dupreeh's AK is going to bag itself too. Broland, though, keeping himself alive in the back of the site. He's denying that bomb plant as well in a really important trade in mid. Meanwhile, goes the way of the CTs. It leaves dupreeh with 4 kills by his side. A 3k in this to try and clutch the 1v2. But he's backing away into the shadows of Donut. And Shui is there, laid in wait, sees the shadow. dupreeh's a dead man.
Ooh, Shui with a spam as well. The post-mortem kill to confirm that one. So Mouz take 2. Wow, quite a close affair though. Both of these rounds have gone down to the balance each time. dupreeh almost showing up massively there and putting the foot down into the round. So that's twice where one individual has had a glimpse of greatness but hasn't quite been able to capitalize on it. We're back into the mix again though. Round 3 goes live. Preasy, limited cash to work with. dupreeh has the Kalashnikov. The rest of the squad down to just the Deegs and Glocks. Oh, hello. Jimfat with an instant rotate through middle. He's fought for control of lane and been able to snipe down the man wielding the AK. Refresh is second in line to pick it up though, and he claps back. 1-for-1 trades at this point, still favouring Mouz.
They most assuredly are, but considering the Deagles and the lack of purchase coming into this round, not a bad outcome. However, if Mouz shut and slammed the door in the face of Preasy without losing too many more players, then it is a successful round for them. The Glock comes out and splatters Exertion as he's trying to reload his weapon, but it will be Mouz taking the quickfire 3-0 and Preasy back into a buy, although dupreeh's down to 3.5k. So it's not going to be the ideal purchase, but they're going to have more than enough AKs to play with and tons of utility. Should be mentioned, this is Preasy's choice of map. Next up would be Inferno, and then if we need it, the decider will be Nuke.
It's a good series ahead of us, and with how these opening rounds have gone, it bodes well. If you're a fan of CS, definitely strap in for this one. A lot of legacy on the line. An exciting game between these two as well. Obviously, right now, in terms of the rankings, Mouz is definitely chock-a-block for the amount of big results they've been able to pull over the course of CS2. Preasy on the come-up. A long-term investment with this roster. dupreeh goes down instantly. But there is a clap back. The tech turns towards the B-bomb site. Problem is, you kind of lose a lot of the grasp that you had towards middle in the close encounters. At least they do find an opening towards B. They can make their rotate in through cave and get those digits punched in. So bomb goes down. and we're left on a 2v2 retake. Nice nade. Roy, ooh, barely brushing the dirt off his shoulder on that one.
Still alive, still kicking. He's baited out a few more shots. He knows where both of these players are now. Flash up and over. And TMB can come out of cave and watch that crossfire angle. Shui singed by the Molotov. Time ticking away ever so quickly. They do have the kit, but Roy getting a kill there is so massive. TMB has given his spot away, but it's planted for him. Oh, but Jimpat doesn't care. Pivots round and gets the insta headshot. With the kit, he's got enough time. They steal that round away. Unreal from the Finn.
This is the difference, Vince. The series we saw earlier with Mouz, we were saying how it didn't look like them. It felt like a completely different team in terms of confidence and how they're playing. And Jimmy already coming out trailblazing into these rounds. It's a nice affair to pick up. It's a big round as well. That's definitely going to slow down the confidence from Preasy. But they will have money once again, pumping the cash back in. Lost bonus to work with. Let's see if they adapt their game plan. The early push towards middle is entirely denied. Last time they lost Dupree in seconds. Instead here they call it quits and bail, going back round towards the B site. No overextension from the CT side. They haven't pushed out cave yet, but they're certainly thinking about it. And now Stewie will. He's pushed down and got visual contact towards the bottom of lane. They know they've got some players trapped towards ramp here.
Brolan's well-timed smoke. So there's a flash. Dupree turns his back and go in straight away. Goes in for the entry. Unshackled. Shui's there once again to deliver the fatal blow. Flashbang up and over. Turns into it. Altex, and the right idea from Shui. He's not in the right angle to spam down the bomb plant, but he has done everything they could have asked. And keeps himself alive. A real pain in the backside now on the side of Preasy. Even if Shui goes down, he stalled this quite a long time. The spray is rough from Roy. Had he been on more HP, that could have actually gone away from him. And now Preasy with just two have Roy and Refresh. The form of which is being flanked. The timing here could work against him. He just turns around in the worst possible moment. And now Refresh facing three has to put the AK to use. First headshot is brisk. Delivered first class. The spray. Can't quite get the bomb diffuser. So there should be enough time. Oh, if he connects that, Jacky, the round would have been theirs. They wouldn't have had the time to stick the bomb again. But Mouz has stolen 2 rounds back to back on B post plants.
Constantly drawing his crosshair off the target he needed to prioritize, made it awkward, body blocked the shots and kept them alive, giving Mouz that much needed 5th round. That's a frustrating one to lose. And it feels like that sentiment has reigned true throughout the rounds we've seen so far. Preasy have got so close towards securing around here, around there, but it's barely fallen through their fingertips, and it happens again. Closest they've been to guaranteeing their opening round in the game as well. And if you would have found it there, it would have been okay. It would have been a good start, a springboard back into things. You can see the first round, sure, but you would have had a 1-4 scoreline and firepower to play with. Instead, it makes it a bit more uncomfortable for you. You're going through 5-0 down on your T side of Ancient. This is your map pick. This is your home turf. You need to get that ball rolling absolutely ASAP. They buy back into it. Couple of holes in the economy when it comes to utility. Few gaps on the smokes and HEs. None of them in play whatsoever. And 1 Galil for Altex. No AK-47 for that man. Early nade thrown out towards middle, deals damage on TMB. He runs through the smoke, blind, dazed and confused, and they've been absolutely abused at middle. One by one, they've crumbled to dust, Vince. 3 frags for Mouz in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, this round is already pretty much put to bed. Although Dupree may nail one, it's going to be a drop in the bucket. And that bucket is getting further and further away from Mouz. It's just drifting into the abyss. And Mouz already off to a 6-0 start. And some people may feel like this is a CT-sided map, of course, but it's definitely not this one-sided. A lot of T-sides will get tons of success on this map. We saw early glimpses of it from Preasy, but that feels like a far cry. Altex is yet to get off the mark. TMB on 1 frag. These are 2 players you expect to be up there. It can't be Dupree and Refresh carrying this game. Someone else is going to have to stand tall. Well-placed molly. Jimpack can toss in the HE behind it. So much damage. And the double spray, he's rewarded for those efforts. It's a fast play for Preasy, but it's entirely backfired. Apart from Dupree's Deagle, he's trying to wind back the ears right now, but they don't have the control over the bomb on the site. They're going to have to pull the plug and get out of here. And in doing so, it's TMB versus the world. Jacky, this would be a 7-0 start. It's like a blink and you'll miss it kind of situation. These rounds have been so thick and fast.
I've been absolutely rapid, mate. That's the scary bit about it is, you know, this game has not been live for very long whatsoever. It's been a matter of minutes with how brief the attempts for Preasy have been. Going 7-0 down. Your best case scenario now is to maybe mount a comeback of 5 rounds, but that's very wishful thinking. That would mean they don't make any mistakes and they're able to bridge the gap, winning every round in quick succession on the remainder of this opening half. Preasy once again have money to play with. That lost bonus has been at an all-time high for quite some time here. It feels like they've been stuck in the meat grinder though, of going for the same plays, and it's so much worse here. The deep nades. Oh, look at the positioning as well. Zeshan tucked with the smoke towards his back in deep lane control, fighting middle whilst dispatching anyone that comes up through lane. And again, they've been blown out of the water. Preasy, the definition of insanity here, Vince. They're going for the same play time and time again and expecting a different result, and they are just getting ruined at mid.
Man, it seems like Mouz took that previous loss against Spirit personally. They were like, yeah, we got wrecked, but you better believe we're going to beat up on whoever we play next. This is a revitalized, rejuvenated team. Jimpat, 14-3. I seem to remember earlier he was on 1 frag come the first map ending, and yet here he is, just out of control. I suppose the thing if you're Preasy is looking to the next map, although they'll still very much got a foot in this one. It is Inferno, where they typically have a lot of success. They have, I want to say it's 13 wins, 3 losses. Yeah, an 81.2% win rate with some notable wins against Forza multiple times, TSM, Ikla, Eyeballers, Big, Endpoint, Ecstatic, Sinners. A lot of good wins there for them. So it's not like they're scrubs on Inferno by any stretch of the imagination, but I mean, even if they get there limping across the line with like 4 or 5 rounds, Jacky, which is looking like it might not even happen in that kind of optimism, you go into the next map with all the pressure on, things are looking dire. They're still in this. They can still mount a comeback. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's a GG just yet, but definitely getting a certain whiff that maybe this is going the way of the dodo as far as Preasy are concerned.
Oh yeah, mate. It feels like they are going extinct quite quickly. And it's just been happening time and time again, Vince, towards middle especially. The sheer amount of chip damage that Preasy are taking for free with no even visual contact to fight back. TMB goes in for a bit of a fake play with a just push up ramp onto the B-bomb site, trying to draw a rotation. Everyone else has gone contact. Okay, at least Torji gives them an opening, so they have been able to close the gap and potentially get the bomb down. They're still taking fights though, swinging into action. The Tech 9 from Torji causes turmoil, and Dupree trapped at the back of the site being peppered through the box. Good to hit the first, but they're already on the diffuser. They've tapped their way in. Refresh needs to peak and it's too slow, too late. The round's gone.
Oh, man. Another pistol round, so I guess you can't get too disappointed with the outcome with the post plant, but it's like they're not stringing together kills. We still have Altex on 1 frag, TMB on 1 frag, Altex 13 ADR, and TMB on 33, and we're moving into round 10. These are 2 guys that you need to be at the top of the leaderboard, really fragging out and carrying their teammates, and they've both been completely absent, Jacky. Like, they're just not performing whatsoever. To put it in perspective, Red Refresh has 3 of his teammates covered by himself, and so does Dupree. There we go, TMB. That's more like it. 2 massive entries, and maybe towards the dying embers of their T-half, they can get some victories.
Must-win round. Even though you got yourself into such a good position here, closing it down is what matters. Your confidence is going to be very fragile right now, and if you were to lose a 2 versus 5 in this kind of manner, ooh, that would come back and sting massively. Obviously, it's more about the flank than anything. TMB, he'll be backstabbing late all the way from the site, so he can walk up through CT and potentially find a pickup onto the AWPer. Brolin's already made his move round though. 2 players set up inside of Cave, so either Refresh frags him or Roy will look for trades. Haltex, he has to peek from the bottom of the ramp, and they do get success on that one. Hang on a minute, Torzi. Oh, he's turned back around. He's looked towards CT at just the right time and found an opportunity to strike. Punishes onto the lurker, and he's in a 1v3 now. There's another lurk developing as well. Back round towards Donut. 35 seconds on the clock. He's going through the smoke, Vince. He's looking to make a play on this. Dupree spams into him. Actually connects onto him as well. They're backing off. They're so scared right now.
The time as well is pretty low. Like, to go for this rotation, they know it's only Torsi, of course, so they're going to get there relatively comfortably. But if Torsi can take this kill onto Roy, things get a little bit more interesting now. He may not realize that he tagged Dupree, but they've gone from a situation that looked hopeless to suddenly possible. And with their money so solid towards the latter end of the half, he may as well go for this. There's no reason not to. There's going to be a very comfortable buy into the next round. Flash designed for a pop. Dupree still hiding behind the box. And this feels like if they lose this round, this is the backbreaker. This is the moment that they get cartwheeled out this first map. They are going to see success on the 10th time of asking. Dupree gets them their first round. But is it too little too late? And it's not as if Preasy's money is fantastic in this round either. I'm not sure they'll be able to afford an AWP. Not sure if they'd even want one the way things are going. There we go. They do have the AWP, Jacky, so they're okay.
Putting the money back into the scope. Got to play for those picks though, Vince. It really does have to be a difference maker. That's got to be now your sole talking point. That's got to be your entry tool to open up one of these bomb sites, give you more map control, maybe a boost on top of the box towards ramp. They're a little bit suspicious about the push from mid, but that means that he plays an aggressive angle and eats so much damage from the nades. It's the same default nade set we've been seeing to take control of bottom ramp and lane. TMB was expecting the push, and Exertion nearly played into the hand, but he backs off and resets. They give up that control of lane. Now they put him on top of the box and he looks for the peek out. Brolin's just jumping through the smoke and looking for the close peek. Meanwhile, Torsi walks up. Second shot does not deliver, but they've got the opening. Response from Brolin's good, but they eat nade damage, Vince. Looking intense here.
Yeah, it is. Just trading back and forth. Of course, Mouz have such a buffer of rounds that not to say that the pressure is off their shoulders, but they're certainly not feeling it as much as Preasy are at this stage. And it allows players to open themselves up, to let that confidence manifest in their gameplay. Jimpat taking the most of that, pushes straight into main. They can now pincer off a second player and rotate into middle. As Brolan is going for the peak with Exertion there alongside him. It does leave Shui alone, but he's done a solid job so far of being that anchor on the site. And with a smoke in the eyes of the T's, they can't afford to push just yet. And if Shui has any inclinations whatsoever that it's going to be a B-sided hit, you're going to see Mouz quickly wrap around. And that's exactly what they're doing now. Brolan and Exertion making moves. TMB has an idea that this play is coming up, but he can't connect the shot. Down he falls. Oh, it could be more disaster for Preasy.
At least there's a glimmer of hope. Problem is, Shui wants to send them down the river. Roy's on a bomb site, but he's got a plant now. If there's a backstab on this, the bomb could go up. It could all go wrong. He gets it planted, but the frags will be found anyway. And Preasy, sure, you get a bit of extra money, but the round itself is gone. 10 in the bag for Mouz Sports. And this is so punishing. Preasy just getting absolutely battered here on the T side. Yeah, it's not going to be a 12-0. But at best, it seems like maybe an 11-1 is where we're going to be finishing this. TMB, he's had the AWP into the previous round, but the impact wasn't momental. It wasn't really enough to make a big difference in the grand scheme of things. He goes for it again here, pumping the last of the money. I just don't know if it's going to help them. Torsi at least played into it by going for the crouch walk towards ramp. This time probably going to play a more defensive angle. Roy looks for a fast entry. Timing's there. Brennan's got contact, but he backs off.
Well placed Molly as well. I think Shu wants to try and push behind this one in the smoke, but he gets caught. The HG. They caught a glimpse of his foot, and TMB does the rest with his AWP. Little impact in this game, but at least he and Altex have woken up a little bit. The issue is that it may be at the cost of the first map. But we have seen many teams over the years just shake it off, come back swinging, and even reverse clean sweep. Those last two maps of the series. Dupree, though, he could be walking into a trap. There's a double player setup on the cave side. The shot out from Torsi, and then Roy assumes he's safe, tries to back away, and Brolan snatches his life on the retreat. So well played from Mouz, but Preasy walked into that head first.
Backstab right here. Good trigger discipline from Refresh. Waits until he gets the wide peek out, sees both their backs were turned, and then burns them. 3v2. 25 on the clock. Preasy, fingertips clamoring onto the grasp of this second round. Jimfat on the rotate has the backup from Xertion. Seems like it's going to be a double cave retake on this one. They're watching the angle. Refresh could be fast on the peak. Looking for a shadow, looking for contact. Smoke goes out, blocks off the side towards CT, but it's bounced. The smoke isn't going to be cleared by the HE either. They're just going to have to push straight through this. Using order utility in quick succession. They go running out. TMB's playing for the repeak on the ramp. Misses his shot. Gives up his position. Xerxon with one. He's a good closer in these sort of positions, but he doesn't have much time. Does have the frags though. Punishes onto the second, but time's too far gone. And it will be a second round for Preasy.
Man, you could see that Exertion, though. He has such a solid awareness of his surroundings. He lands both of the kills. It was another whiff from TMB, unfortunately. But he sprays through the smoke, gets the first kill, and actually fired in the correct position for that final frag, but just didn't have enough bullets in the magazine. If he kept shooting, he could have actually taken that last kill down as well. So it goes to show that the cogs are turning in their heads. 11 kills and 92 ADR for him. 16 and 134 ADR on the side of Gym Pat, which is great to see. But Preasy now, it's pretty much do or die in this pistol round. They lose this, and it's a fast track to our next map, which will be Inferno. Maybe they can stall it a little bit longer. Mouz coming through with only one smoke and one flash, a P250 in the hands of the very capable Torji. I don't think we've seen the best of him today either, Jacky, in the previous best of 3 or this first map. But to be fair, he's not really been required too much in this game.
No, not necessarily. Everyone else has been delivering. What worries me the most, man, it's kind of what we saw the first series, what Mouz went through. Where it's just one of those where you're like, okay, we're losing so heavily. If this game's just gone in seconds on our map pick, how do you reset? Ooh, we're not like this. Not going into the second half pistol and getting absolutely butchered. Yeah, the last 3 players are on the bomb site that's being pushed, Vince, but can they actually find any success? Not looking likely. Dink City, as everyone's going down. It might even just be a flawless round. Dupree at least is able to reclaim 1 kill, but that's it. Just a single frag. Mouz will take 11. They're 2 rounds away from this game being over in probably under about 20 minutes.
Yeah, this has been lightning fast after a pretty long wait for this game. It's pretty much just flown by. I feel bad for Dupree, man, because he's really trying, like, desperately to salvage this game. I mean, he started so strongly in the pistol, came out with a 3K when he first had an AK-47. Him and Refresh have been doing the heavy lifting, but there hasn't been much as far as a supporting cast is concerned. Very solid grenades to kick things off as well. Dupree and TMB taking the brunt of it, both being finalized. And I think you can pretty much tag it and bag it, Jacky. This one is done, barring a miracle. Mouz are going to be moving to Inferno very soon indeed.
It seems that way. Preasy haven't been able to muster much. The strength isn't there for them. And the Danish side is being absolutely decimated here on their map pick. Mouz play it slow and steady as well, not wanting to leave any stone unturned, leave any risk. As they'll clear out the bomb site, get that bomb planted, and look for the flankers. Be able to shut down these last few players. 1 weapon recovered. Altex will get the AK. Probably just wants to Scarper with it. Bring that into the next round to at least have some kind of firepower to play with. You know that winning this one would be very unlikely. So don't over-egg the pudding. Go through with what you've got. Keep the armor, keep the weaponry, and maybe have some sort of buy to play with going into the 15th round.
Yeah, that is pretty much the best case scenario. Altex has for a second. So the chances of holding this the AK are a little bit better, but if he peeks into Shui, this could be curtains. Shui on the peak, nice reaction speed. Altex nails it instantly, puts him down on the ground. And so, yes, they will be able to hold on to an AK, and I think the Galil as well. That's nice, but the grand scheme of things, it doesn't feel that great if you're Preasy. You've got 2 rifles, but Mouz have 10 map points to go 1-0 and move 1 giant step towards the RMRs.
And I think they're about to put that foot down. Here on the first map, at least. Early nade damage comes out. Preasy already losing a player. TMB falling instantly onto this one. Dies by the sword on the fight towards middle. Roy and co looking for some kind of trade, but it's not looking great. There's at least the spray back towards ramp, but the control favors Mouz as they are in pull position now. Oh, Vince, anytime there's a glimpse of hope for them, there's an instantaneous trade and it all goes down the pan. Refresh is a dead man walking now.
He is. He is one of the players, though, that has performed so far. So you feel like if there was a guy in this position, it's him or Dupree you'd want in it at this point. Exertion also is exceptionally low, but he may have just bypassed this flank. And Refresh, not entirely sure as to what's going on. He's keeping himself central, hoping for a rotation with 55 seconds left. And plus, he's close enough to either site to get there quickly once the plant does come down and not allow them to get into fully set up crossfire post-plant positions. So you can understand his decision-making. The problem is that Mouz are slowly but surely making their way over onto the site, and it will be planted momentarily. And I'm not sure Refresh is going to be able to get there in time before those crossfires have been set up. Plus, there's a molly and a HE, or a smoke, pardon me, for Exertion. So, it's looking like it's GG, isn't it, Jacky? Like, let's be honest.
I think so. As much as we can pretty this one up and say there's a chance this round might still have more stock into it, it feels like it's all about the next map, really. And Refresh, he'll clear his angles, do his due diligence as he rotates in. Does have the kit in the back pocket at least. Time to halfway tick though. Pushing out onto the bomb site now. Looking for the first fight. Sees one man, but there's the swing in the back, and it's over. Preasy